as we enter.
Good evening, everyone. It's Tuesday night again. Here live, Frankston Community Connect. Hope you've all been having a good week. And a good day today. It was a nice day again. Anyway, you wouldn't like it if I wasn't having a rant. So, Guru's rant today. We're at stage 4, right? And, well, Mr. Andrews is actually going to talk about a way out on Sunday. It's a small one. But what absolute morons out there protesting and things like that. I don't know where these idiots come from that are saying that this is all a conspiracy, right? They're talking about not wearing masks and all this kind of stuff. Grow up, you morons, right? The end of the day is we've had thousands of people that have actually contracted COVID-19. I'm sorry. Someone out there has had a go at me because I keep saying COVID instead of COVID, right? But anyway, there's plenty of people out there, and we're getting to the bottom of it. But these fools, they're just fools, right? And unfortunately, there are most of them are young ones. But you know what bugs me the worst? Is when you see these long hair, hippie type people out there that probably haven't got a job, right? That are saying this is a conspiracy, right? Get off the grass, you morons. Sorry. Anyway, Guru's had his little rant. How would you like to have me as a politician? Right. Anyway, let's get on to the good program tonight. Can you actually see now that I'm awake compared to what I was this morning when I done the promo? I tell you what, I really didn't feel like doing it. And I guarantee that a lot of us are out there at the moment that are not feeling like that when they wake up, so like not wanting to get out of bed at the moment, not looking at what their days ahead of them, because they're all just running into one day after another, and like yesterday's the same as today, except I've got a program. At least I got that going, but some people just don't even know what's going on, and it's really disheartening out there for a lot of people. And one of our guest tonight actually deals with this on a daily basis, and it's an organisation that I think now for the last 4 years, maybe more, right, that I've had clients of theirs that have actually been sent to me, right, that have actually gone fishing for our organisation and things like that. So it's been, they're an actually great organisation. It's called Neami Australia. Just 1 second, Katie, what have we got there? Right on, Danny's doing a great job keeping us safe. Morons need to be pull their heads in. I'm glad. Thanks, Katie. I'm glad someone else speaks like me then. Right. So what I'm going to do, without talking more dribble, I'm actually going to bring up our guest tonight, Amanda, right, from Neami's. 1, 2, here she is. Good evening.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me.
I hope you didn't mind my rant.
Not at all.
Right. So Amanda's from Neami's, and like I said, I've done a fair bit with Neami's. You weren't there the day. The old premises down behind Wells Street here. Righto. You weren't there then, I don't know, but I actually come as a speaker there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to all your workers and that.
Yeah, wonderful.
And talking about our organisation and things like that. So, well, I've done a fair bit with Neami's, but you're actually look, first off, introduce yourself.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about you.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Okay. Thank you. Well, again, thanks for having me. I'm Amanda Williams. I'm the service manager of Neami National. in the Towards Home Plus program at Frankston, and I have a team in Frankston as well as Dandenong. But a little bit about me. I'm not far from Frankston, very passionate about the Frankston area. I loved the fact that I got this job because I felt like I was able to help make a difference in the suburb that I'm passionate about. I have 5 children, so working full-time, yes, and homeschooling at the moment, Glenn. It's a little bit challenging for me, and we're busier more than ever during this lockdown.
No wonder you got a scarf on. You don't want to see you pulling your hair out.
That's it. All my greys, Glenn. I keep telling you, those greys, I need to hide them. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Just I love doing the work that I do. Very passionate about our consumers, and really just wanting to make a difference in the lives of others. And I guess that's been my mantra for a very long time now.
Right, just a quick one. Thanks, Lee. We agree. You know, there should be no homeless. Right, I'll talk a little about that in a minute. Right, because there's always a reason people do things, right? And what the jobs that they, their careers, and the paths they lead, right?
Yeah.
And what has set you down this path? You got 5 kids, so why are you doing it?
I worked in the corporate world for a while, Glenn, and became really disillusioned about being a number, and have always been passionate about people. I have a love of people, and I guess I also believe love is what makes the world go round. And because I do have 5 children and I am now working outside of the home, I have only wanted to do the type of work where I am able to make a difference. So I have worked in disability, I've worked in mental health, homelessness, and just have that real passion to make a difference. And there are so many vulnerable people out there who, through no fault of their own, have found them in situations where they need a bit of a hand up. Not necessarily hand out, they need a hand up. And no judgment on what it is that they're doing, but we just try to offer supports where we can.
Yeah, no. Listen, everyone, when you see me moving backwards and forwards like that, right, it's because I'm getting old. and my couch is a little bit uncomfortable. And I've pulled my back. I've not pulled it out. I've got a bit of a back problem because I'm not doing anything. I can only walk an hour a day.
Yes.
So anyway, that's enough about poor old Guru, Glenn. My nickname is Guru Glenn. That's the thing about fishing. Everyone knows the Guru.
Yes.
So sometimes I just pre-talk to myself, right, so I can lift myself up, right, and call myself a guru.
Well, you're very well known, Glenn, and some of our consumers love you.
Thank you. Anyway, one of the reasons I've got you on tonight is to talk about the program that you've got going with homelessness here.
Sure.
What it's about, because you're actually trying to grab some of these rough sleepers, as we call them, right, and trying to put them into accommodation. Is that right?
That's correct.
Right, just tell us a little bit about the program and how it works. How you're going out there grabbing these lot, because I know quite a number of them here that don't want to go into a building, right? They'd rather sleep in their little caves that they've made and things like that. Right. Tell me a little bit about the program itself.
Yeah, okay. Well, the program was funded in 2018 as part of the Rough Sleepers Action Plan. So Neami essentially partnered with Launch Housing. They're our key partner. And we've also partnered with Bolton Clark, Melbourne City Mission, Launch, Neami, Uniting Regen. So we have a team of people that are called a supportive housing team. So with Launch primarily do the assertive outreach with our rough sleepers. And when they're either housed or put into motel accommodation or rooming houses, private rental, office of housing, Neami wraps services around people to help them sustain and maintain their housing.
Right. Because we'll talk more about the homeless and thing. Listen, everyone. Right, I said it this morning in the promo. If you can hear a cat in the background howling and screeching and everything like that, the thing's on heat.
Oh dear.
And because I've come to like cats, because one of my boarders left it here a long time ago,
Yep.
I can't kill it.
Glad to hear that, Glenn.
Oh, it sits in front of my bedroom at night, screaming its head off, howling. And he wants to, I don't know what it wants, why it's yelling at me. I'm not a cat.
You need to go and get him desexed.
I'm going to. I've already planned it this week. I've got a usher. It can't be a he to be desexed. It's a she if it's screaming and howling on the heat.
Well, they all make noise when they're on heat. Well, sorry, yes, you did say on heat, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, I know. I've been throwing buckets of water outside over the male cats that are hanging around.
That's right.
Anyway, tell me, there's quite a number of homeless here, and and I know a few of them down the streets there, like Michael and a few of the others. How are you approaching these people and trying to convince them to get into housing?
Look, I think it can be really complex, Glenn. And like you said, not everybody does want to be under a roof. And what we try to do with Launch's help is we really try to build a rapport with the individuals. So it's about getting to know them. And what you and I may think is what that person needs isn't necessarily what the person feels they need. So we will try to engage with someone, assess what it is that is important to them, and then we try to give them the service, which is person-centered. So we try to assist them as best we can. The problem we find, Glenn, is that some of the options that we are able to offer people aren't ideal. And so, we'll often not question the fact that someone might want to sleep on a tent on the beach, which we know is not ideal, but sometimes we can only offer them a rooming house because of the lack of housing, and some people just won't go in there because they're very unsafe.
Yep, no, I hear what you're saying, right? Because there's a whole diversity when it comes to homelessness. And
yes.
And I've got myself into a few debates over this one. Right? True homelessness and the difference between kids just running away from home and then, couch surfing and stuff like that. There's a real mass. And one of the biggest problems, and I stand to be corrected because you're the expert on this one. I don't know enough to be able to say that.
I'm certainly not an expert, Glenn, but I've got a great team of people that do great work.
And we'll talk about them in a little bit. One of the problems, and I've been fighting this for a long time, and you would see this, that we have a major problem with mental health, right, and the mental health services, right? No fault of Peninsula Health, right, and 2 West and everything like that, right? A lot of our sleepers here in Frankston, right, that there are actually out of the mental health services, right? Because we do not have places to house them. What your thoughts on that, or am I talking out of school?
No. Look, I guess one reason that Neami was able to win the tender for the Towards Home Plus program and the Rough Sleeper initiative is because, the government are starting to notice that homelessness and mental health are very intertwined. And I believe, we're working with people that are right at that pointy end of, complex and challenging needs. And majority of our people have got really significant mental health concerns. And it through no fault of anyone, and it's not to point the finger, but it really is multiple system failure that lets people down at times when they're most in need. And I guess that's why we have that wraparound team who offer mental health supports, alcohol or other drug supports, intensive case management, because it's really complex. It isn't just one issue.
Yeah, no, I agree. Linda Gardner's just asked a question. It's basically on the lines of what you just said, right? Is there on-hand support and connection with mental health services?
Yeah. Look, there is. We are quite often in contact with the Davey Street, the Frankston Community Mental Health. We've been to their team meetings, they've been to ours. We're in contact with social workers. We'll quite often be calling triage. And, we try to work collaboratively with a whole range of service providers, including Peninsula Health. Because you need a team of people, and we've just had some of the best outcomes when you have got multiple people working in multiple areas, assisting with people, because some of the challenges that we face can be really complex. And we've had stories where we've had bank tellers help us, you've had Peninsula health workers help us, just to get the help that some people need when they're acutely unwell.
Yeah, no, it's good. Right. I just want to stick a little bit with the homelessness, then we'll get on to a bit of mental health, some of the stuff that you do with mental health, your organisation, right? Yep. Because that's an important part of homelessness, right?
Sure is, yeah.
When like I said, we've got one category of person, which we've just talked about, as the mental health, right? Are we seeing a lack of youth homelessness in this area?
Sorry, do you mean, are we seeing a lack, like, is there a lack of youth homelessness, or a lack of services?
Is there less youth homelessness here now? No, not because I can remember years ago we had a big problem with youth homelessness.
Okay.
Righto. Are we seeing, a decline in our youth homelessness here now?
I don't think we're seeing a decline in youth homelessness. I think youth homelessness presents very differently to the visible homelessness that you may see when somebody is rough sleeping. So I have a youth focused case manager in the team, and she's certainly run off her feet. And what we're finding with our young people is quite often it's hidden homelessness. So they are couch surfing, so going from place to place, which unfortunately they tend to wear out their welcome. But they go from place to place, and that can be just different issues, but mostly it's family breakdown. So we can also support with family reunification when needed as well.
I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people say I'm wrong when I say that it's actually a lot of young youth who actually are not homeless. They're just that they're having a family breakdown. So they'll run away from home and different things like that, whether it's be separation or domestic violence.
Yeah. It's really complex for young people, and I guess the problem we find most is the lack of financial capacity for a young person to live outside of home, and also the lack of crisis accommodation down in the Peninsula region. So we need more services for young people, for sure.
We do, don't we? I agree with that.
Safe housing.
Right. Now, this one's going to be a sticky point, but it's an honest, straight down the line point as well. Had about 3 or 4 phone calls over these last couple of months. Due to domestic violence, right? When we're starting to see a lot of males that have been actually having to be out of their house, right? Nowhere to go, right? And having to sleep in their cars. Now, I despise domestic violence. Any man that lifts his hand to a woman, right, is, anyway, that's my own thing. I'd punch him out. Sorry, I don't have to be politically correct. That's exactly what I do.
Sure.
Right. Anyway, but we're still seeing a situation where males are being sleeping in their car. Are you coming across that stuff?
Oh yeah. That's another real challenge. I guess what it all boils down to is the lack of safe, affordable, secure housing. And any aged male, single male, they're really hard to house, because we need 1 to 2 bedroom apartments for people, and if you're on one income, that's really hard to afford a rental. But yes, when the perpetrator is removed from a home, they're often just left out in their cars. A lot of the perpetrators are ashamed to reach out to family. So they will choose to sleep in their car rather than a family or friend's house. But quite often, males on their own are really hard to find something that they can afford and that they can sustain.
Yeah, and I think, like when we've been bringing this up over a few of the shows that I've had over these last few, we've been going for over 2 months now, right?
Wonderful.
As males won't swallow their pride and reach out for help, which is a major problem.
It is. It really is. And, there's a lot of shame around a lot of things, whether that's alcohol or other drugs, whether that's being a perpetrator, whether that is that they've lost their job. Males do find it hard to reach out, and there's a lot of shame attached to that stops people from getting the help they need.
See, with your organisation, that's what I like about your organisation. Yeah, because there's others out there like yourself, but it's like everything, and no one person or one organisation is good at everything.
No.
Righto? But if you've got an organisation, just like a car yard, you've got the new car salesman. Guy sells the car, then it becomes a used car. Then you've got your service centre, right? So you've got all different jobs there. And all organisations almost set up like that because homelessness. But you're not just dealing with the homelessness. You've actually got professionals or different services within inside of Neami's that can actually help and operate, from mental health, working with the youth. You've got, which you told me earlier on today that you've got the Indigenous, which there's a major problem.
Our social and emotional wellbeing worker. She does an amazing job. Yes.
Just tell us a little bit about those different roles that are actually there to offer in Neami's, because there's people out there hurting now, and you don't have to be homeless. You can be just like me. Need help.
So our team, we are what's called a multidisciplinary team. So we've collaborated and partnered with other organisations. So in the Frankston supportive housing team, we have 2 community rehabilitation support workers who are directly employed through Neami. We then have a AOD clinician employed by Uniting Regen, but sits within my team. We have an intensive case manager from Launch Housing and a youth-focused case manager from Melbourne City Mission, plus a community nurse from Bolton Clark. And then we also have our social and emotional wellbeing worker, who is a proud Larrakia woman herself, and she sits within our team.
Oh, really?
So what we do find, Glenn, is that we have an expertise in all of those services, and those organisations each bring value to the team. So you may be working with someone with significant mental health, but is also might be experiencing psychosis due to ICE, and we can assist with referring and offering supports to get the help that person needs. So we bounce off each other really well.
Yeah, that's bring. I actually, because like I said, we've partnered, Neami's and our organisations partnered up a little bit, but we've predominantly dealt with people that are suffering mental health, like depression and anxieties and things like that. But we not actually seen this other side of Neami's.
Yeah.
Right, which is unbelievable, right? Because I didn't realise that you were so in depth into this situation. And Frankston is actually should be very proud that we've actually got organisation. Oh, my teeth nearly fell out there when I was about to say that. That we've got an organisation as capable as what you are, that Neami is here.
Yeah.
So you do actually get funded, bud.
Yes.
Right.
That's correct.
Just tell us a little bit about the funding.
Yeah, okay. And sorry, my staff has decided to decided to join us, Glenn.
Right. Hey, Donnie.
Out you go, Bella. Sorry, she's bumping the table. She's everywhere.
That's
Bella, hey. Sorry, the joys of working from home, Glenn. Okay, yeah, so we were funded. So at the moment, the program began in 2018 in December. That's when I was employed as the service manager. And the funding it's a state government initiative. It came out of the Rough Sleepers Action Plan, and that identified that that consumers, the people we work with, have multiple complex needs. So our funding is currently a 2-year program. We were due to close up this December. We've been able to push the funding out ourselves until Feb 2021. It's a 2-year pilot program through DHHS, and they really have done an amazing job at putting some great services together and tender processes together, which enabled Neami to partner with Launch and to get this program off the ground. I guess we're really hopeful that pilot programs will continue because they've just had some great outcomes. You know, being able to offer supports long-term for people who have been housed, that really makes the difference.
Oh, that's fantastic then.
Yeah.
We've got Jocelyn down there. We'll be bringing you up soon, darling. Don't worry. We haven't forgotten about you. Righto.
Yeah.
One of the things that I find important, righto, do you get support from Frankston City Council?
We are very involved with Frankston City Council, and they have been quite amazing in bringing multiple services together. So we are all part of what's called the Strategic Homeless Alliance, and we meet very regularly with all organisations, just looking at this type of thing. So advocacy to keep great programs coming into Frankston, looking at partnering and you know, different initiatives like emergency accommodation, crisis accommodation. So Frankston Council reached out really early on because they were really pleased that Frankston got these programs in the municipality.
Right. So that answers me, or brings out a question that I want to know, because I've actually tried a couple of years ago, try to get council and another sitting member Chris Cruther, right, to fund a place called Sandpiper Lodge, which had 48 rooms in it. I don't know if you know about Sandpiper Lodge, which would have been a fantastic place for exactly this mental health, homelessness, and other people on the third. I know that what I've heard, I could be completely wrong, and I'm happy to be corrected if anyone's out there. But now it's gone to student accommodation, and it was a full SRA, my service, resi service thing, right? We are very short accommodation here in Frankston, aren't we?
Oh yes.
We've got a few places at the Ambassador, right, which is, right, you know, like I know I've got my own thoughts on that, right, because it's not straight down the line. It's not a good place to actually, because you've got drug addicts and things like that. Right, it's been a major problem since they pulled that down 18, well, what was it? I'm trying to think now. Yeah, it must have been 15, 16 years ago when they basically shut it down. Right? They changed it. Well, when the Greek guy actually owned it, George, right, and then they turned it into apartments and once again strata titles and things like that. Right, it is a major problem. And I think another place that we do have, right, is the Beach Street Motor Lodge. You use that, and there's a caravan park. Right?
Yep.
It's a major problem when it comes to trying to home and house people in them.
Yes. That would have to be the biggest barrier, Glenn. And I noticed that there was a question from somebody, what's the biggest barrier in our job? Our biggest barrier is the lack of safe, secure, affordable housing for people. You know, we really want to tackle this problem from a housing first approach, which means people are given this, you know, safe, secure, affordable housing where you can then begin to work on the journey of recovery, and whether that be recovery with your alcohol or other drug addictions, or recovery in regard to your mental health, keeping in mind that that may take somebody years of hard work, of recovery, because we're dealing with people that have got, again, multiple complex needs, but have experienced significant trauma.
Yep.
And that's really hard to overcome, especially if you don't have somewhere safe to live.
Well, that's right. See, another thing too, I don't think you would realise, right, and anyone that deals with mental health issues realises, and I'm trying to think of my head. I don't think we have. I actually know it's not true. I have a semi one across the road from my place, but that's for youth, right? It's what they call secure residential for mental health.
Yes, okay.
And people that have actually suffer, right?
Yeah.
Recovery, whether it be drugs, ice, whatever, right? And we don't have that secure resi scenarios here in Frankston that I know of. Like right across the road from my place.
So Neami do also operate some of the youth residential services, and that's a 12-month program for young people who want to work on their recovery of mental health for a 12-month period. But again, Glenn, there's always, we always need more. We always need more supports for mental health. We need more housing. We need more detox and rehab centres. And like I said, we work with some amazing people, Glenn. We feel a lot of my team, by the way, I have an amazing team of people. We will have to get you to meet all of the team. I know you've met some of the team, but, our workers, even throughout this COVID pandemic, they just hit the ground running, and they are supporting some of the most traumatized, vulnerable individuals. And, we will even say to people, someone might say, oh, they're just a drug addict. Even a drug addict needs a safe space to lay their head overnight. And until you've walked just a day in somebody's shoes, we really should have no judgment. And we need to be there to walk beside the people on their recovery journey. And that's really our goal.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'll tell you now, it's something I personally don't know, because I'm actually was homeless and on the streets, right, when I was a child in Sydney, up under the age of 11, then stuck in institutions from the age of 11 to 18, basically. So you're speaking to someone who already knows a lot about it. Helena's put up there recovery from trauma, and I've got to put it out there to Helena. Helena actually runs donation chain and showers the homeless here. Right?
Yes, wonderful.
Right, so, and she's right. Now, recovery from, as we said, from the trauma is so true. Right? And what else has you got? Most people who are housed take drugs and alcohol. No one bats an eye. Right? So, anyway, listen, what I'm going to do, if that's okay with you, because I want to continue this bit of conversation here, but we've got another organisation on tonight, right, that is going to come on, we're going to talk about, because although it's not so much homelessness, right, they're actually there for the community, and it's called Connect Community Care, and they're looking after the vulnerable. They do feed homelessness and things like that. All right, so I'm going to bring that. Let her tell the story. So
Wonderful.
I'm just going to drop you down for a minute.
Sure.
And then I'll just, like towards the end, I'm going to, the 10 minutes, have you two actually talk with each other, and we'll ask some questions. You never know, there might be some help that, this organisation can help you with as well.
Exactly. And we love to collaborate. We collaborate with a lot of organisations in the Frankston region.
Yeah, you collaborate with me, so that's
that's saying something, isn't it, Glenn? We're open to collaborate with anybody.
That's right. I'm going to put that down, and I'm going to bring up Jocelyn. 1, 2, good evening.
Hi there.
You've been sitting down there patiently waiting.
I know. I've been standing up, sitting down, standing up, sitting down. I'm all good. Hey, Glenn. Thanks for having me.
That's all right. Have you been entertained?
By which bit? By your rant, maybe? No, all good. No, really interesting conversations. Real privilege to be here with you guys. Appreciate all the work that's been done behind the scenes and for the community, really.
That's true. Listen, I always start, tell us who you are, a little bit about you. Right?
You don't want to get bored with that stuff, Glenn, please.
People get bored with me, so it doesn't matter.
Well, my name's Jocelyn, program lead at Connect Community Care. So in charge of their outreach. Born first generation Aussie. So I come from, my family's from Argentina, and went to school, Mentone Girls, been around the area for a while. Actually grew up in Adelaide, actually, to be totally truthful, and that's probably where the first part of my interest around outreach. I worked a lot with the Indigenous kids in South Australia, up in the Pitjantjatjara land. Had plenty of opportunities to go out there with a few field doctors and missionaries to have a look at the kids there and work with them. And yeah, I suppose that's where this has all sort of evolved from. And now working at Connect Community Care, it's a volunteer position that I have, and love it, love it. I love the people we serve. I love the people we meet. I love the team we have. It's all good. Love Frankston, Franger.
Nothing wrong with us Franger people.
Fishing, a little bit of fishing here and there. To take me out fishing, except that I'm not going to touch bait. That's the only thing I don't do. Sorry.
Oh, get out of it.
I'm serious. Like that stuff, no way. That's my job. Then you have to take it off the hook and all that too. Sorry.
Tell she went to Mentone Grammar.
No, girls. Wait. Let me clarify. Girls' school.
Girls' school.
That wealthy.
Anyway, how we met, I know, is that I got an inbox one day and said, "Hey, there's an organisation trying to do the same as you are."
Stop. I'm compared to you, Glenn. Sorry.
I said, "What do you mean? What are you talking about?" I said, "Oh yeah, no, there's someone's got the same name as you." I said, "No." They said, "Anyway, well, you didn't, right? And you got nothing to do with it. You do completely different, right?" So but yeah, like you're doing a great service for here, right?
Yeah.
Who gave you the idea to do it, and how long you been doing it?
Yeah, wow. So the name, just to clarify, we're part of a wider organisation of a church, Connect Christian Church, that's been around for about 30 years, Frankston South. I've been a part of that church for about 4 years. And their vision is love God, love people, change lives. So that's been a passion of mine, like I said, born many years ago in Adelaide when we started outreaching with a lot of Indigenous kids. And then we moved around this area, and I've been fortunate enough to work with, you met my mum a little bit earlier on. I won't tell you how old she is because she'll kill me. But
That's all right.
We started just patrolling the streets with an outreach program. We partnered with a couple of other organisations within Frankston. Then Corona hit, and everything pretty much shut down. And we were sort of sitting here twiddling our thumbs and thinking, what can we do? We really still wanted to make an impact or do something during crisis. So we started preparing our own meals. We had a small group of people that were still not housed and were still out in the streets. And with all the feeding programs kind of shut down, there was a real need for compassion and companionship, and also, those real bare practical needs like, sleeping bags, food, and just having a really good chat. We've got an amazing bunch of clients on the street still, by choice or not, or whatever their choice is, but we love them dearly, and it's just such a great opportunity to be able to still see them. So then we started with these little flyers. We did a winter jacket drive at the church, so we got maybe, I don't know, close to 1,000 winter jackets, and so we started washing all those, and then we got more information. People started building momentum. We got into this community collaboration. So there's this amazing organisation called Street Smart Australia. So this guy is totally cool. He was a social worker in Dandenong, found a big need, has a huge heart, passion for, homelessness in Australia. So he raises a lot of funds, man, and he raises funds. So he's graciously donated or been funding our program. We've extended our program to cover over 130 meals a week. And and talking about changing lives and saving jobs and doing stuff for the community. Even with this, we've partnered with Port Phillip Estate Winery, being a little bit flash, and they're preparing our meals. So we've managed to, for them to be able to really save their jobs through the JobKeeper or Seeker or whatever that thing is. They're preparing like top quality meals to die for, and sweets. And these are the meals that we're using to, one, to serve our people on the street, and we call them our people because they're like our family to us. And the other is a whole bunch of other housing estates, so commission housing. You know, you talk of the Ambassador and the Caravan Park, Beach Street. They're just a few. There's so many other locals around Frankston. We started with a little humble flyer, so we're all in this together.
Yeah, that's the one I saw on Facebook they told me about.
Yes, see? A little bit clever on Facebook. And we're a community, and like it's just been growing. You know, we had Marlene from Boomerang Bags. Oh my gosh, what a sweetheart she is. And all the ladies that made these little bags out of recycled materials. Helena, who was around before, like she's just another jam, hard out, trying to do good stuff in the community. Just come down, Joe, and grab whatever you want. You know, we've had so many. We've got one local guy. I wish I knew his name to give him a plug, but some guy here in Seaford that has a cafe. He's giving us $200 worth of fresh food and groceries, like incredible groceries, and they're going into our hampers. So not only are we doing the outreach and the meals on a Thursday, we're doing wellbeing check-ins. So we check in, have a chat as much as we can, you know, at a distance and all those COVID restrictions that we have. But, you know, we're having people break down and say, thank you so much. Look, I'm seeing a few little comments here, like Jenny Russ, like she's an amazing lady in our team. She's deputy principal at a school that I work at. And what a heart she has. And she'll go out, not only just talk to people, but if they want prayer, and we're not an overly religious organisation or anything, but we do believe in miracles, Glenn, like some other people do. And so we believe in
tell everyone that.
Through his love, we're able to minister so much love to our community. So I got it in there. That's it. No more churchy talk. That's a little bit about what we're doing. So food hampers on a Friday, and these packages are going out. So we also have a couple of other organisations, Harbour Care, down in Hastings, and the ladies down there are magnificent at collecting these massive packages. We get the donations of fresh fruit, winter jackets, toiletries, Helena, all the other guys that are supporting us, and getting them out. And so we have another team that are delivering those out to different houses all through Frankston, Frankston North, Coringal, all the way around here, Seaford, a whole bunch of people here in Seaford, the local Seafordites, which is me. Yeah, so that's about it. And I can keep on going, Glenn. You're going to stop me.
Hey, listen, you and Amanda can actually talk in a minute, right? They were happening last week when I had two women on.
Oh, stop it.
The wording.
Sorry.
But listen,
Just some things that we're passionate about, Glenn, it just goes.
Yeah, just some trivia. 1990, I actually preached at that church you go to.
Look at that. You look a little bit like someone I know, actually.
Anyway, that's enough because people might think that I'm a religious.
Yeah, stop it. Me too.
Yeah. Anyway, actually, it's been good because since I've got to know you, your organisation, there's been a couple of times now where I've had and look, Frankston Community Connect, and I got to really thank Carol so much and Jessica and a couple of others.
You've got an amazing team there, yeah.
That have actually, like part of this, because here I am, as I have told everyone, I started this off basically because I was bored shitless. Also, right? During the first COVID, I was done a couple of fishing shows, right? And I thought, what can I do? And then all of a sudden, I spoke to Carol and I said, Carol, what do you think about me starting a live show up? And we did. And our first guest was Peter Murphy, right?
Not a bad guess.
She opened the show for us basically, and we've been going ever since, and it's just been amazing. And we're having people reach out. Actually, I'm going to bring Amanda up, right? And then we can all have a chin wag. Right? Here she goes. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm going to go. I'm going to go up here. But since I met your organisation, Josh, well, a couple of times now I've actually reached out to you, and like I was absolutely like today, right? A lady that I saw that put into a notice board to us, family needed food. They were in crisis. They needed food parcel and things like that. Got onto you first thing this morning, and you were onto her straight away. And today you bang straight there. There's no mucking around out there, and actually gave him something. And that's what Frankston Community Connect's all about. And the same with you, Amanda. I believe that after tonight's show,
Yep.
we're not going to have any homelessness actually watching this, but there are people out there.
You never know.
Well, they could be. They might have more money for their mobile phones than we do. Only joking. But people might know what people are out there that can actually push them onto you. But we've gone into another. Oh, there's little. Hello, Jess. Can you done that? Oh, look at that, Jess. I'm sorry. She's one of our. She's not only just one of my volunteers, but she's also a lovely young kid that's actually
Very pretty girl too, by the way.
what's that?
She's a very pretty girl, by the way.
She was doing a makeup show the other day. But no, she is. She is.
For you.
Righto. But Jess is also on our committee for Triple TAF and on the committee for Frankston Community Connect as well. And so she's asked, can you donate things to your group? I should have my glasses.
You need your glasses, Glenn.
But I don't like to call them too vain. It's so hard to get used to them. How do you try to get help for you guys? How do you volunteer? They are. See, Jess is asking all those questions.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, okay. So in terms of, and that's to me, I'm assuming, yeah?
Yeah.
In terms of donating to the group, look, the easiest way is just to connect with us through our Facebook page. You can direct message us there. Look, in terms of things to donate, it gets a little bit tricky because then you need to start housing things. So donations are welcome. Oh my gosh, my battery's running low. Can you believe that? Anyway, I'll be quick. And in terms of volunteering, yeah, we absolutely love to have volunteers, except we're in a season right now that is probably not wise. So when you speak to your friend Dan, Glenn, if you want to let him know and doesn't give us the heads up about changing restrictions, then we can start with that. But please just stay connected to our Facebook page. We'll post anything. We'll have an expression of interest form that's on there, and people can definitely connect there. And you don't have to be a churchy either to join. So that's the good thing.
Right. Go and get your power lead and plug your thing.
You know what? I might. I'm just going to move you. I'm going to.
Right. Me and Amanda will talk.
No.
Look at that.
Quick.
Oh, no. I hope you're not in a dressing gown.
I'm going to turn the light on.
I don't trust batteries on laptops.
No.
Oh, no. She's brought her dog. Hello, dog.
Questions if you like.
Righto. Amanda, do you have problems with feeding some of the homelessness and stuff like that you're dealing with?
Look, we do link in to organisations that offer material aid. So we do work really closely with Community Support Frankston, Theodora's Cheerful Givers, and now Jocelyn's organisation, because, look, we're always looking for assistance for people. So we don't primarily provide the material aid, but we're all about linking people in. And let me also give a mention, and I noticed them on the beginning of the show, the Seek volunteers. They're just amazing. But if I've forgotten any organisations, I please apologise. But we link in with many that just do amazing work and help to feed people when they're just, really vulnerable.
Well, what another person I want to link you in with, I'm trying to get her to ring me so I can bring her on the show, Helena. Look, because I know that there was rough sleepers out there that don't want to be housed.
Yeah.
Helena actually runs a great service. She's worked hard to get the service up and going. That's down at the toilet block down at the Plain Street, right? The community showers. So she'd be a good one to actually look, because once again they all need showers. I know they were doing it down to the Frankston Community Group, right?
Yep.
Because like Steve's, like I always give them a big plug, as you can see at the beginning of my promo thing. There's a thing there for Steve. Their organisation.
They're wonderful.
Job, righto. So Helena will be a good one to lock you into as well, in case you need to, access those showers, which I don't know if they at the moment. All right.
I think we certainly do link people into that service as well. And I know the Bolton Clark nurse from Community Support Frankston is often taking them down to the showers there as well.
Oh, that's great, because that's what Frankston, as I said, Frankston Community Connect. That's why we started this off, is to try to join all the. There's so many community groups out here that do so much great work.
Yep.
So many people out there don't know about it.
Yes.
Right? And that's what like we've like the likes of Carol, myself, Jess, and others that are in there. Oh, she's gone. Bye.
Oh no.
Oh
She'll
no.
pop back in.
Yeah, she will.
The
Anyway,
battery must have died.
Yeah, she forgot to plug it in.
Yeah.
Right. What's this? Oh, right. Aaron was asking what's the common interest groups. I've heard this with Connect Care. Well, can't ask her now because she's gone, Erin.
Yeah.
I know. So, but look, it's been great. I don't know if she's going to come back on or not. So, but anyway, I think there's there's a lot of different organisations out here that we can actually join up with and help and everything like that. What's right? Is there at a state age? Righto. Right, hold on. We'll bring that up. Righto. Is there a start age limit to first get help to Neami? And how can you get involved to help? Right. And so that's right. I'll leave that one to you, Amanda.
Yeah, thanks. So whether or not I'll tackle this from two ways. So people that can get support, we do work with young people generally from 16 to 25. But in regard to how you can help get involved, in this environment, again, really difficult because we're all working remotely from home, but we're often touching base with our consumers out in the community when we can. But certainly Jess could get connected if she is able to via yourself as well, Glenn, because if they can't volunteer necessarily with us, we certainly link people into other organisations that we work closely with.
She's come back.
Great.
You've come back. You've come back.
I'm not here and I forgot to put the record.
That's what we said.
We were talking too much.
That was funny.
I thought I must have said something.
That's a bit of homebrew for you.
Yeah.
Right. Now, Amanda, is anything you want to ask our runaway?
Oh, look, I'd love to connect, Jocelyn, because I know that you've mentioned that it was just before COVID that you started doing the meals. So yeah, I'd just love to be able to talk with you more offline because, like I said to Glenn, we're often referring people in to much needed supports, and the fact that you're out and about and you're still doing that's just really remarkable. So certainly you'll get to know our team pretty well.
Yeah, I'd love to. Yep.
Yeah.
So much need out there. I'm sure you appreciate that you and your team are so busy with the work that you guys are doing. Yeah, there's absolutely real need for it. And yeah, love to touch base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jos, have you reached out to the Frankston City Council?
Oh my gosh, I have. Yeah, they're pretty good.
Oh, they're looking after, they've been good to you?
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Actually, I won't go into too much detail, but I don't know. I had this, I didn't think it was going to be as pleasant as it was. The guys there are amazing, been really supportive. Yeah, no, I've had nothing but good reports for
All right.
council, for
But
sure.
you know that I'm interviewing all the new candidates, don't you?
He said,
Righto. So,
not many girls,
huh?
not many women.
No, I think at the moment I've only got two on the to interview, and I've been told about another two, right? But they haven't got back to me yet. So tomorrow night, I've got a good one tomorrow night. I've got an Indian, a Sikh, and an Irish.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's got to be.
Diversity.
It is. Because we're becoming a very multicultural society here in Frankston. And as I said last week, once before there was only Poms and Scots and Aussies. And now,
Well, diversity helps us to flourish, Glenn. So
It does.
all for diversity and inclusion. I think that's super important.
Oh, yeah, we love diversity within diversity. That's wonderful.
Yeah, good stuff.
I've been hassling to try to get an Indigenous to run for council.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that'd be fantastic. Yeah. But I have been told, right, that is mentoring a female Indigenous leader, right, and still trying to talk them into it.
Wow.
So that would be great. Now, we just went off subject there. No, because I think it's very important that, and another reason Frankston Community Connect is actually council realising there is so many organisations that we have here in Frankston need support, right? That the council needs to actually embrace. Well, fair enough. Neami's got paid people and some volunteers, but predominantly, right? But the likes of our organisation, Jocelyn, most of the organisations here are all volunteers, righto? And the council actually need to embrace our volunteers and our different organisations that are here, especially the mental health side of stuff and homelessness.
Yeah, well, I've found them to be great, like Jocelyn. We've had a overwhelming level of support from council. I'm meeting with them very regularly. At the moment, it's weekly, and that they really are doing some great things. And you know, the level of supports that council provided to Steve at Community Support Frankston when COVID, hit, and getting Meals on Wheels involved. They really hit the ground running as well. But they're very supportive. They link in with our team. They link in with the launch team. They run that great strategic homeless alliance. They understand that they're the closest level of government to the people on the ground, and they need to invest in that.
Yeah,
so they get it.
Absolutely. Right. So, where do you think you go from here?
Well, gosh, where we go from here, we're just business as usual in a really unusual circumstance right now for us. We're continuing to receive referrals. We would love to continue the great work that we are doing in Frankston. We're looking at the outcomes, and we've just achieved some great outcomes. So for us, we're just happy to continue doing what it is that we do best, and that's just offering people in need the supports that they need.
Yeah, no, great. Like I said, apart from the homelessness, you've actually got a lot of mental health services and everything like that, and different services, for youth right through to old people like me.
That's right. Age is no barrier, Glenn, in seeking support.
True. We all need it sometimes.
That's right. And that's the thing. I think right now we need to be really mindful that there are a lot of people out there that need assistance. And, I urge everybody just to check in on someone that you know and just ask them, are you okay? Because this environment right now is really getting people down. Even the best of us are struggling. So reach out to someone.
Yeah, no, like I don't know if you watched the promo today. I really had a hard time to actually talk to actually put the promo on this morning. I really just did not want to put my ugly head. I just
That's
wanted,
it.
I just wanted to crawl up and do nothing. Righto. Jocelyn, where do you think you go from it? You lot go from me now.
Yeah, look, interesting question. I think we are we're sort of in a go position at the moment. Fortunately, obviously we're trying to be paced in our movements because of the season that we're in. Yeah, but look, I just really see, with some of the early conversations that we've had, I see this continuing, growing, and really, really looking to tap into, further community networks, further strengthening the community, and keep that sort of momentum, and using our opportunity to really check in on the well-being of the people that we're really serving. So that for us and the team, we've even got our pastors, believe it or not, taking calls, making calls. So it's old school church coming out to play, really, I think. We're leaving the pews and we're going out to the people. Not being too overly churchy, but yeah, that's pretty much what it is. So it's really fantastic. We've got a senior pastor, Adrian, amazing man, emotionally, spiritually, really, really solid. So some great teaching there, and just really, even just to have a chat, some people really happy to have a chat. We've got ladies that are retired and all they want to do is check in and, cooking meals. They're doing things for their neighbours. They're grabbing their groceries and really checking in, like Amanda's saying, just that check-in, are you okay? The stories I've been telling you about, like people just breaking down when we're at their front door. People are doing it tough out there, and it's just such an opportunity that we've been given to be able to step out during this time and check in on those people. So I feel like really privileged to be able to do that. For me, it's no chore at all. The hours that you put in are limitless because it's not a job for us.
Right. No, that's good. Listen, it's flying away. We've been over an hour. It actually flies, doesn't it?
That flew by, Glenn.
It does, doesn't it? Righto. Well, we've got to sign up, and Amanda from Neami, Australia, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us about homelessness and things like that, and the other services that you offer.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I think that you might get, if I've got any people that actually get in contact with us, I'll put them through to you.
Yeah, please.
Guys, and you're doing a great job, you and your team. Righto. And anyway, there's a new contact there. Righto.
Yeah, thank you.
So, which is great. And like I said, that's what it's all about, is, contacting people, putting people in contact with each other and just seeing what services are out there in Frankston. Righto. So I'm going to say good night to you. I'm going to just drop you down again.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, you went before.
Sorry, I meant to say thank you so much for having us, and thanks for everything that you do, because you're also helping people to stay connected, and really that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants to feel connected. So it's amazing work. Thank you.
No, look, it's turned out to be a good little thing, that Frankston Community Connect, but the people working behind the scenes of, they're making it possible as well. So it's great.
Yeah.
Thank
Some
you.
generous funding coming your way wouldn't go astray for those microphones, eh, Glenn?
Yeah, I know. Well, that's true too.
You're doing an amazing job.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Lovely meeting you, Jocelyn, and I'm sure
likewise,
we'll be in
man. All the
touch.
best. Thanks for you.
Righto. Well, reach out to each other.
We will.
Good on you. Righto then. I'm just putting them down. Righto. Anyway, I really appreciate it. That was actually a good show. Great job that Neami does, with the homelessness and the rough sleepers. Righto, but it's a good, and joining the communities together, and a great job from feeding our needies and everything like that, and all the people that are actually out there that need something, right, and need food parcels. So you've seen both those organisations on Frankston Community Connect's page. So if you want to get in contact with them, get in contact with them. Tomorrow night, right, I'm going to interview 3 new counsellors, so it should be good. And I'll try to be good, and I won't hassle them. like hell I won't. Anyway, good night, everyone. If you're tuning in tomorrow night or next Tuesday night, I'll see you.